Okay, so today we're gonna assemble an office chair from IKEA or IKEA, and it's called JÄRVFJÄLLET, and I'm pretty sure I pronounced it totally wrong. What I just realized, and that's a bit disappointing, that even IKEA stuff is not made in Sweden anymore, and it's made in China. Nothing against China, but I was hoping that IKEA is still producing in Sweden, but apparently not. So let's open up that thing. So alrighty, it says do not use a knife here, and that's why we use a knife anyways, because I would not know how to open the tape, but I guess that just means you should be gentle. Okay, alrighty, now I've opened the box, and what do we have? So we have obviously the rollers, should be 5 of them. Then a set of screws and an Allen wrench in the box, that's cool. And we have this part, I'm pretty sure that's where the seat attaches to the part where we have the rollers. Then we have the seat itself. It's actually wrapped something like that, so that's pretty nice, and I'm pretty sure that's the mounting instruction. Let's put that aside, and then that's for the back support, I am pretty sure, which is adjustable, which we see later. That's actually the main reason I bought that chair. Then we have the backrest here. And then this should be the 2 armrests. I'm pretty sure about that. Actually, the packing is pretty good. That's a star-like shape thing, which is obviously made of metal. That's where we have the legs. Then that's the headrest. And then finally, that is pretty much for the back part. And that one is pretty hefty weight size. And I'm sure that is actually where you mount the seat, and you can make the seat go up and down. And we should see that in a few seconds. And yeah, as I said, and that's the pretty heavy part. Alrighty, let's flip through the manual. So as always with IKEA or IKEA, it tells you what kind of screws we have, and apparently you just need that Allen wrench, which is good. And as I thought, we start with the bottom, with the support and the rollers, and that's the next thing we do. So now we have these rollers, and you actually just pop them in like so, which is, you need a little bit of force, and you see that little ring here, that's actually, pretty sure there's a groove inside there, so once you pop them in, you might never get them out. And it's, as I said, not that easy actually. So what you want to make sure that you're pretty much straight when you pop them in. It's actually easier if you do it with 2 hands, but since I'm filming with 1 hand, it's not that easy to do, but with 2 hands it's actually not a big job. And so now we have the base of the chair actually ready with the rollers, and it looks like that. And then what's the next part? So the next part, okay, that's what I thought. We're gonna pop this baby in there, and the correct way would be, so the part with the smaller diameter goes upwards, and this one apparently just pops in like so, and it actually sticks out here. And I wonder if that has to stick out like that. It doesn't say anything about that right now. So next thing we are gonna do should be, what is that actually? Oh, so that's it's that part of the chair. All right, now it's this part of the chair. And as I said, the packing is pretty good. So there's no complaint here about the packing. And then let's just make sure that we have the correct orientation, which we have here. And then this is the back support. And this one goes in here. And now we just need to, oh, you know what's pretty good here? So you see that little pin there? And there is actually a guide hole for that pin. So you cannot actually install that the wrong way. So you see that? You have to put that pin in here, this one. And once you do that, yeah, if I wouldn't be filming, it would be easier. So the only tool you actually need is like a Phillips screwdriver like this one, because we have like these little tiny Phillips screws which are going in here. So that's pretty easy. We just screw them in here, and that is just to make sure that the lower back support holds tight, which is actually adjustable, which I can show later. And what I'm always doing, I'm just doing them like a little bit more than hand tight, because sometimes if you put too much force on tiny screws like this, it can kind of break the thread, and there's actually no need for that. And now you can see okay, so the next thing we want to do, we actually want to attach the backrest, the big part, on that thing. So you have to slide it under there. Once you slide it under this, you want to tighten these screws, and there are just two short screws or bolts here. What I just realized, they all come with this blue color. That's something like a Loctite, which means once you screw it in there, it's actually pretty solid and should stay there. Don't squeeze them too tight right now, because next thing we have to do, we actually have to screw that part in here as well. So it gives you a little bit of wiggle if you do not screw them up there. Once you want to stick in here from below, which I already did. And then you see we just kind of gently bolt them against that back support. And then once that is done, we go to the next part. Right, so the next part would be actually this part where you can adjust some parts of the seat. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that this part faces to the back of the part where you sit, right? Which is kind of pretty obvious because it's getting smaller here and larger there. And once you have that, there are just 4 screws to attach here. Once we done this, we actually have to move over to a table, as you see here, because then we have to flip it over, and that's the next part. Just a little quick tip. So whenever you tighten these, I always go like with this one, then I tighten this one, and then I'll do the same thing. So you never want to tighten these first and then the other one. So always go like across. That's what I would recommend. Okay, so the next part, like the manual says, you want to place this part on a table. Mine is just big enough. And then we're gonna slide this part under this one, and then we're gonna attach these 3 screws. So that's pretty easy actually to slide that in, and then you take these 3 screws, obviously, and then we screw it together. And once that's done, we follow the next step. But as I said, that's pretty easy, and from the side kind of looks like this. So that's actually a good tip from IKEA, to do it this way, and then it's pretty easy to do then. Just a little tip, what I always do with these Allen keys, so that I'm not losing them. Once I'm done assembling, I maybe just tape it here. Nobody will see it, but once you ever need it again, it's just taped here, and then you should be able to find it. And by the way, that's assembled. So the next step would be, and I just call it this way, where we marry the top part to the lower part. So apparently we just pop it on there, and then we should be good. That's like a damper here, and now I'm gonna do that. So that was pretty easy, and you see it's assembled now. Maybe I need to sit on it to put some weight on it. And the next part would be actually to put the headrest on. You also need 2 Phillips screws, and then that's the headrest, and that just slides on here. And then we have to put the screws in there, another one in there, and then we should be good. Okay, all right, as I said before, it's just these 2 Phillips screws here, which you just tighten there. And once that's done, I'm pretty sure we just need the armrests. So that's assembled now, and what you can see here, you can move that up and down. And also that's for the lower back support. You can move that up and down. It's a little bit heavy to do with one hand, but as you can see, it slides up and down here. Well, and then the final step would be the armrests. The only thing you want to make sure that you just assemble it on the right side, and let's say not like so, but you want to assemble them like so. And well, basically then it's done. For the armrest assembly, it's the easiest way. You just lay the chair on the floor like so, and then it's pretty easy to assemble that. And again, here, never tighten one screw before you tighten the other. So always go a little bit crisscross. First, all of them, make them like hand tight. And once they are hand tight, you can then fully tighten them like so. Now it's swiveling a little bit, but that's not a problem. I'm actually do that, the final tightening, once it's standing up. There you have it in all its glory. So that's the IKEA office chair, fully assembled, and if I wouldn't have filmed it, it would have taken me maybe 10 minutes max. Well, there you go. Maybe you should mention one cool feature here, and that is actually you can slide this one in and out. I'm not sure if I can demonstrate that, but there's a lever here, and that's the wrong one. It was up and down, so it's this one. And when I pull that, I can slide it. So you see we created a gap here, and if I do it back, you see it sliding in, but you have to sit on it to slide it out again. So let's do that again. So you're helping me assembling the chair. I appreciate that. So we put that lever here, and then you see we slide it here, and then we have that gap. Thanks for watching. You're Franny, that's a new office chair. You don't have to be afraid, it's not eating dogs. No, it's not eating dogs, it's just an office chair for mom, right? Yeah. You want to sniff? It's not killing you.